Hey everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video, special video, okay, I had an idea, which is usually a bad idea, especially when it's me, but today we're going to do something non-miraculous. Don't worry, this doesn't mean we're stopping miraculous content. Like, I have so many ideas at this point, we can't go back. I can't see a way back to doing anything permanently non-miraculous for, I was about to say the near future, but honestly, do you have the far future as well? But anyway, since the season of Miraculous is currently over and we are on like a long break slash hiatus, whatever you want to call it, between this season and the next, I thought it would be fun to let you all know what I'm watching instead. Although, let's be real, I am of course still watching Miraculous Ladybug every day, and the movie. Sometimes all of it, sometimes just clips. It's good. Delicious. So I have zero idea how well this video is gonna do, if any of you are gonna be interested in it, but I am so invested in this anime that I had to tell you all. Even if only two of you watch it, I'm like, that's enough. Because the two of you, the point of this video is the two of you. I am here to peer pressure you into watching the anime My Happy Marriage, and I'll just put the Japanese name on the screen because I shall not be making a fool out of myself trying to say that. And before those of you who have this on in the background and aren't really listening properly, no, I'm not referring to my own marriage. I've mentioned this a few times on Discord and my server the past couple of weeks. Everyone's been like, you getting married? When did you get married? Why haven't you said anything? No. Okay, the anime is called My Happy Marriage. It has nothing to do with me getting married. I would have told you all by now. The anime is just called My Happy Marriage. So I'm going to tell you all about the show and why I like it so much in order to get you all to watch it so we can all become obsessed and addicted with it together and we can all scream about it together. And of course this, like, it's not really a review, I don't know. It's going to contain mild spoilers, okay? But I won't spoil everything, but oh my god, it's so good. You should go and watch it. Like, a new episode gets added to Netflix every Wednesday at like 2:30 p.m. my time. And oh my god, okay, I have an alarm set for this. An alarm. I'm obsessed, quite clearly. Okay, that's how much I love it, right? So I had supervision this Wednesday, so I wasn't at home. I was in the city. Supervision was at 2. New episode comes out at 2:30, unfortunately. It finished at 3. As soon as it was over, I ran, yes, ran to the train station. Yes, everyone stared, don't worry. I am just as much of a weirdo in real life as I am on video. I ran for the train so I could come home and watch this anime. That was like the first thing I did. Took my bag off, took my coat off, took my shoes off, got in bed and watched the episode of this anime. I am addicted to it.
She definitely needs help.
So basically, My Happy Marriage is like a Cinderella story, and I love Cinderella and like any like other stories that have been based off. So I love the movies Cinderella Story, Ella Enchanted, Ever After. If you haven't read the book Cinder by Marissa Mayer, it's like a science fiction retelling of Cinderella. It's so good. I am a sucker for retellings of Cinderella stories. And this one is like a Japanese version of it. So the main character is called Mio. She's 19 years old and her mum died when she was little, and she now lives with her dad, her stepmom and her stepsister, who is called Kaya, who I want to punch in the face every time she comes on screen. Like, her voice actress in Japanese and English, they are both great. They make you hate her. That's definitely their aim, and they're doing a great job. They really achieve that. But every time she comes on screen, or I just hear her voice, I don't even have to be watching, I just hear her voice, she makes me want to commit arson. That's how I feel about Kaya, okay? That is how I feel about Kaya. She tests me regularly. I rewatch the show all the time. She tests me a lot. Even though I know what she's gonna say, even though I know what's coming, I'm like, Kaya? Shut up, please. So her stepmom and her stepsister and her dad all hate Mio. There are a couple of reasons for this, but one of them is that Mio doesn't have any supernatural powers. Yes, there are some like supernatural goings on. It's not just like a normal setting. It's set in Japan, kind of historical, not really sure when, but with some supernatural slash fantasy elements. So they kind of look down on her for not having these supernatural abilities and make her serve them basically as she's like their servant, which is even more horrible considering they already have a whole like team of servants. Like, they're a rich family and it's historical, it's kind of more normal to have servants, so it's like You already have a whole household full of servants. Why do you need to make your daughter another one when you already have them all? Again, it just goes to show how cruel they are. So at the start of the anime, Mio is 19 and her family hate her so much, they're just like, fine, okay, let's get rid of you. And they send her off to be engaged to Lord Kudo, who is meant to be extremely cruel and horrible. He has a reputation for throwing out his other fiancés. He's been like meant to be getting married to all these other women, and he's ended up calling it off because he ends up like hating these women basically. So they hope that he's going to do the same to her when she ultimately does something wrong, because her family just view her so terribly. But because Mio is so traumatized from all this emotional abuse she's been put through, she is just like extremely obedient. Every other word out of her mouth is sorry, and as a result Lord Kudo is an absolute sweetheart to her. Who's surprised? Not me. Is it slightly cliche? Yes. Do I look like I care? No. Okay, if they don't get to like kiss in the rain at some point in this anime, I'm gonna be offended. Like, is it a cliche? Yeah, I don't care. The cliches for a reason. They're good. And like, he even stands up to her family. Only 5 episodes have aired so far as of making this video, and they haven't delved too much into the supernatural parts just yet. I think it's definitely coming, like episode 5 was getting there, it's going a bit further with it. And when Kaya used her ability, she looked like she was a member of the Sheikah tribe from The Legend of Zelda when she used her power, so that was great. But the show is largely about Mio slowly healing from the abuse and neglect she suffered from her family, as well as about her and Lord Kudo slowly falling for each other. Oh my god, it's so beautiful and sweet. I won't spoil it for you, you gotta watch it to see how it happens, but it's done so well. But here's a little clip to show you what it's like. That doesn't really spoil much. So the romance aspect is definitely one of the reasons why I like this anime. It's so well done, and it's very much, at the minute anyway, very much slow burn, slow progression between them, which totally makes sense due to everything Mio has been through. And they're also not married yet, so nothing, you know, too much can happen. Nothing too scandalous can happen just yet since they're not married. And the emotions in general, aside from the romance, are just so well thought out, especially like Mio's treatment and how she views herself and like her self-esteem, her self-identity. They're so well done and it's so well shown to the viewer, so even if they haven't been through something like that, they really understand what it feels like. Plus as well, we also see like both of their perspective, both Mio and Lord Kudo, so we know he has good intentions towards her, but because of her past, the viewer also understands her apprehension, even though we know he's a good person. And all of these emotions really help to characterize all the characters, mainly Mio and Lord Kudo, but like everyone in general. And it's this amazing part in episode 4. Well, it's not amazing, it's hard to watch, but like amazingly executed. So Mio sees Kaya in town for the first time since going to Lord Kudo, and she completely reverts back. Any progress she's made with like self-esteem or whatever, totally lost, completely lost. She just reverts back. But Lord Kudo, like just in general, once he gets over the initial frustration over why Mio is so like placid and apologetic and obedient all the time, and he learns what happens to her, he just wants to help her. And in my opinion, her much kinder nature, because as much as I like him, he can be a little cold and rigid and doesn't really show his emotions. Like, her kindness kind of influences him, and he just becomes like a nicer person in general, and the use of silence between them is really effective too. It communicates a lot about them, and they're just so well written. The romance, them as characters, other emotions, amazing. And even though right now Mio doesn't have any powers and he does, I really hope Mio like develops them, if that's possible. I don't know. We haven't really been told much about like the conceits of the supernatural setting of the story, but I really hope Mio can develop them and learns to save herself, both on an emotional level after what happened with her pathetic excuse for family, but also, you know, physically too. And the other characters are great, so I really like Yuri, who's like, she works for Lord Kudo as like a housemaid, housekeeper. I don't really want to use the word servant because I think she's great, but I guess she technically is, but she's lovely and she really helps Miho progress into getting better self-esteem. And also the character Hana, who was also a servant when Mio was little, back at the Sayamori's house where Mio grew up. And although I very much hate Mio's family, like, you know, you're very much meant to hate them, like they did a great job, because every time one of them comes on screen I want to punch them, so you know, great job writing them like that. I I also love the fact that I have no idea when this is set. It kind of reminds me of Wes Anderson movies or something like A Series of Unfortunate Events, which have really ambiguous time periods. Maybe My Happy Marriage is set properly in a year, but I don't know when, so I kind of like that. I have absolutely zero idea. Like, yeah, I know my PhD is partly about Japan, but it's more like the history of mental health and asylums in Japan. Could I tell you what it was like to be admitted to a mental health hospital in Japan in the 1950s? Absolutely I could. Could I tell you what life was like outside of it at the same time?
Nope.
No, it's beyond the scope of the research, which I think is what I'm going to be saying for like 50% of my thesis defense. So another thing I really love about the anime is all the clothing and the fashion, all the kimonos. Pretty much everyone wears traditional Japanese clothing throughout the anime. As you all know, I love clothes and fashion. So I really love the emphasis placed on fashion in the anime, especially to show like social hierarchy, social standing, things like that. And all of the kimonos are beautiful, and the opening theme is beautiful too. I rewatched the whole show like 3 times now, like it's only 5 episodes, and I haven't skipped it once. So good. I am well and truly in love with the show, and the most recent episode, episode 5, I've watched it 6 times already. And you all better watch it too. It's so good. So at the minute, 5 episodes, like I said, are currently on Netflix at the time of filming this. Episodes get added every single Wednesday, so you better be there for next Wednesday, besties, okay? Because we need to scream about this. I doubt I'll make another video on it, but just know I shall be watching the entirety of this anime because I am in love with it. So I hope I've convinced you. If this sounds like the sort of thing you'd be into, this is definitely up my alley. So I hope for some of you it's up your alley too. It's just, even if this isn't particularly something you would watch, it's just written so well, like the characterization and the emotions, the relationships, so well executed. So if this sounds like something you'd watch, I hope I convinced you. There are so many good things about this anime. Like I was like, I have to tell everyone. I don't know if I'll ever make another video like this again, whether about this anime or maybe about another show I'm currently watching in this long hiatus, but maybe it could be a fun thing to do every now and then. I don't often fall in love with shows quite like this, but like I said, I am 100% addicted to it. And if you've actually already started watching the anime, tell me what you think. I need to know what you think. This anime is amazing. So I'd love to know what you think of this video, besties. Should I do another video like this in the future? I don't know how well this will do. Let's just see. I wanted to kind of do it just for fun. I don't really care. But I'd love to know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!